Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing and football selections for Wednesday the 30th for the football selections, and it'll be Thursday the 31st of October for the horse racing selections. So let me get straight into it. I'm not going to keep you hanging on for them. So quick recap on Wednesday. Well, we had a winner. I turned down the 6-1 thinking it could drift. It didn't. It was 3-1. I didn't see if there was any non-runners. I didn't see the race until it was a replay. But in my opinion, apart from being a bit clumsy over some of the hurdles, always looked like it was going to be in contention. Always fancied to pick them up. And then I just didn't want it to end up coming down at one of the hurdles. You could see that it was going to win from a long way out, or at least come in the first two from a long way out. But yeah, 3-1. The next horse, or another one of the horses, was placed. Then unfortunately we got two unplaced horses, so it was a losing day. So let me get into Wednesday night's football. I won't keep you too long because I know there's not many of you that like the bet. So here we go. So it's a £7 over 2.5 goals treble, and the matches are Brighton versus Liverpool, kicks off at 7:30. Newcastle versus Chelsea, kicks off at 7:45, and the final match is Tottenham versus Man City at 8:15. So as I said, it's a £7 over 2.5 goals treble, then a £3 over 3.5 goals treble, same matches. So let me get into the horse racing. So there's it. Well, I had £3 and a penny just to get rid of the balance. So what I've had is I have had 25 pence each way singles, and I've also had a 10 pence each way lucky 15, and I've actually taken the prices because I don't mind the prices. They could well drift, they could well double in price, but I'm happy with the prices that I've taken. So the first selection is Carpathian at 17-2 in the 10 past 4 at Southwell, paying what am I talking about? No, it isn't paying 4 places. It's 3 places only. Caution with this one because you might want to leave it till either you get back from work or you pick the kids up from school, because it's 10 past 4 and there's only 8 runners. I wouldn't be confident with 7 runners because I just think it's not a confident win selection. Doesn't mean it can't win, but it's one of them that I think when I first looked at this horse, it was 16-1 in the Racing Post, and I thought that should not be the outside of the lot. Well, it isn't, but I'm expecting to see it run close to a place. So realistically, you still need the 3 places with the 8 runners. So yeah, 17-2. I think it's an acceptable price. It's James Ferguson. I think he's a decent trainer, and it's Callum Rodriguez on board, and is currently riding pretty well, especially when he goes to Redcar. And I've also backed another one of his in this bet. So the second selection is Silver Samurai at 11-1 in the 6:15 at Southwell. This is paying 4 places instead of 3. So this horse, I really like the look of it, and I tell you what, it's the nap of the day. So Silver Samurai at 11-1. This horse ran in a Class 2 last time, and it was caught in traffic problems. Not horrendous traffic problems. It just kind of lost its winning chance. However, the winner did win very well. I'm pretty sure it was an Edward Bethel trained horse that won the race, and it won ridiculously easy in a very competitive race. This horse, as I said, it got lost. When it finally made some headway, it found a little bit of trouble, stayed on well in a Class 2 race. This is a Class 3 race. Sometimes these Class 2 and Class 3s can be very similar. It's the same kind of horses running in the race. 11-1, in my opinion, with paying 4 places is wrong. Callum Rodriguez, I do believe, is on board again, and I think this one's got a cracking chance. And I think it's even the biggest price I've backed of the day. Could be wrong, so I'm very shortly probably going to contradict myself. The next selection is No Saint at 13-2 in the 7:15 at Southwell, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse going back, I'm pretty sure it's this horse I looked at. It's one of the horses that I backed, so don't worry, as in like when I'm talking. There's a horse it used to be trained by Michael Bell. I'm pretty sure this is it. if this horse, yeah, in fact, this is it. So if this horse recaptures any of its form from, I think it was last season, it's ridiculously well handicapped. Well, don't get me wrong, it's ran quite a few times for Sam England now, and it's ran the odd decent race, but potentially it could be thrown in. Fifth, sorry, 13-2. I think it's a decent price. Price. Um, I think it's David Nolan on board. Could be wrong, but I like the look of this horse. Don't matter who's on it, to be fair, but well, it does, but as long as it's not me on it. I think it's got a decent chance, and it shouldn't be too far away, especially paying first four. And the final selection, which is an interesting one, because I shall tell you why in a second, is Mask of Anarchy at 15-2 in the 7:45 at Southall, paying 4 places instead of 3. I do believe this horse ran in this race 2 years ago, which is quite interesting. It's trained by Craig Lidster, becoming a decent, I think is a northern trainer, I'm not sure. I would guess so with some of his owners, and especially with a lot of the tracks his horses normally run at. So this horse, it's actually ridden by, what's his name, Matthew Lloyd Slater. You know the guy who, I tell you what, to be fair, it's not the worst easing down I've seen in my life. And don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly 15 years of age, but I have seen worse. Don't get me wrong, it did slow down on the horse that he got beat on, but I wouldn't say it's actually, I don't know if anybody remember the horse at Pontefract, ridden by Tony Culhane years ago. He absolutely eased it down to a walk pretty much and got beat. That was in the early days of Betfair. Well, this Mask of Anarchy, which isn't the horse that he eased down, it was the one at Leicester, but I just seem to think that sometimes they look after their owners in like, are they trying to give him a winner? Has he got a fine to pay? Are they getting him a few months to pay the fine off? Don't get me wrong, it did ease the horse down, but I just think, I just thought it wasn't the worst I've seen. So this horse ran in this race, I think, 2 years ago. I think it could run well again. It's one of the more obvious ones with obvious chances. And those are the 4 selections. So you've got Carpathian, who has probably got a similar chance to Mask of Anarchy. Silver Samurai, Nap of the Day. I just can't believe they've given 11-1 about this horse. Don't get me wrong, it could be even bigger on Bet365, but Silver Samurai is definitely the nap of the day. It's no certainty. Don't get me wrong, it's 11-1 in a competitive field, but I think that horse it should be closing at the finish. I'm just hoping they don't give it too much to do. And I also hope they're not setting the handicap markup ready for a bigger prize when the all-weather season really starts, when it starts getting much colder. And then no saying, just because I think it's got a decent. So the first, third, and fourth horses have all got very similar chances, but I am much stronger on Silver Samurai. So I won't keep you much longer. So as I said, the football bet starts at 7:30. I hope that you join me, and I hope it's a winning bet if you do. So I wish you the very best of luck. You can give me a like, a subscribe, a share, or a comment. I'd really appreciate it. So the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.